Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today in this presentation, I would like to tell you about a country. So actually, this country was based on my experience. So I'm just gonna tell you what I experienced in that country. Okay, so I don't think I need to introduce myself because maybe y'all know my name, but if you don't, my name is Zahid. I'm from Jakarta and I'm 10th grade, TKJ. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna talk about Thailand, one of the most cultured place, one of the most cultured country, one of the most famous place, popular. There's a lot of people went there for their holiday, and yeah, we're going to talk about the quality later because yeah, we're going to talk about Thailand. So here's the location of Thailand. It's part of Southeast Asia. It's between Myanmar, Laos, and yeah, the other country. And of course, Indonesia was also part of Southeast Asia. And Thailand was part of ASEAN, you know, ASEAN. Yeah, that's Thailand was inside of ASEAN too. Okay, so fun fact, Thailand was before they named Thailand, it was named Siam, and then in 1939 they changed their name to Thailand. And also they have never been colonized or been attacked by other country because from what I heard is they got nothing to take, they got nothing. That's why they've never been attacked by other country. And well, let's talk about their language. Okay, so you understand these things. Do you know what is, if you don't, if you want to learn Thailand language, well, you need to learn this first. Because I think for me, it's hard to learn and it looks complicated. So if you want to learn their language, well, you need to learn this first. And I think it's really hard to learn. Okay, what about their popularity? So here, as you can see in this image, number 7 in heritage and number 28 in best countries overall. So number 28 doesn't seem like a high number, doesn't seem like, well, number 28. But there are it's number 28 from 160 list, from 160 on the list. So that's, well, pretty high, number 28 in best country overall. Okay, now let's talk about their problem again. This was based on my experience. So one of the problems that I face in Thailand is the traffic, the horrible traffic. A lot of tons of car in the traffic, you know, bikes. It's pretty horrible. It took me hours to go somewhere. And yeah, that's the problem that I face when I was in Thailand. Another problem is, well, it's pretty common in Thailand, that is transgender. It's pretty common in Thailand. So it was a show, one day I went to a show that, you know, showing some traditional performance, some traditional dance. And yeah, it was women who danced. And I was so surprised that my tour guide said that the performance was actually men, and they are not a woman. So I was pretty surprised there. And what most surprising is that I took a picture on that show and then zoom in. I was, oh my god, like their face, their body, their look, and most important things, they don't have, private things, which is weird, and yeah, it's scary. Okay, after knowing all of those problems, after knowing, well, their history, their problems, we need to respect them. Even though we know that it's not good, it's blah blah blah. But first thing first, when we want to go to other country, we need to respect them. We need to respect whatever inside that country. Okay, let's talk about their city. I think it's pretty clean. I don't want to compare it with Singapore, but well, it's pretty clean, pretty, a lot of modern buildings, modern cars, those LED lights flashing in the middle of city when nights. Then the religion. Okay, so yeah, the religion, the majority is, well, Buddhism and not Muslim. It's not a well, Muslim country.
Okay, so yeah, this country is well not a Muslim country, unfortunately it's not a Muslim country, but yeah, their majority is not a Muslim. Their majority is Buddhism or Buddha, but actually they don't ban any Muslim in Thailand, so you can just go pray and salah without any problem. You're not going to be angry. Well, some of them maybe will, but their government didn't ban Islam in Thailand, so it's safe for Islam to live in Thailand. But again, their majority is not Muslim. Their majority is well Buddhism or Buddha. So there'll be a lot of like this kind of statue or Buddha praying. I don't really understand out in Buddha. There'll be a lot of there'll be tons of temple for Buddha. Okay, so continue to our next slide is okay, so let's talk about what how Muslim live in Thailand. What about Muslim in Thailand? What they do and how popular Muslim in Thailand. Again, Muslim in Thailand was not really popular. Their majority are Buddhism or Buddha. So as you can see here in this picture here, in the statistic, 94% Buddhism, which a lot, 94% from 100%, and Islam was just 4%, which is very low. So yeah, that's one another problem in Thailand, especially uh, for us as a Muslim. So yeah, it's not well the majority is they're yeah they're not Islam's not popular there, but there is but in Thailand they got mosque a big mosque like in this picture here. It's just one of them. There must be a lot of mosque for Islam because 4% is doesn't seem high, but maybe there's a lot of Muslims who live in Thailand because number two from popular religion in Thailand. It's not high, but well, they got Muslim in Thailand. They a lot of Muslim live in Thailand. Okay, okay. What about halal food? Okay, so Islam is not bad in Thailand. Of course, they got halal food. A lot of Muslim people selling halal food in Thailand or another Muslim. So like in this picture right here, it was me and my family eating halal food in Thailand. And well it tastes good, it's good. It's not bad. But not much halal food in Thailand because not their majority is not Muslim, so there's a lot of haram food on the streets. So if you want to hunt for street food, you have to be careful because there's a lot of haram food. There's a lot of pig in there, so you have to be careful when you want to hunt for food in Thailand, especially for a street food hunter. You have to be careful in there. Okay, what about temple? Okay, yeah. Their majority is Buddhism or Buddha. They must have a lot of temple. Like in this picture right here, it was one temple. I mean, it was well pretty popular. That Maturgat said this one is the most popular one, and well, it looks amazing though. It's pretty high. A lot of tourists there, and a lot of people selling souvenirs in there for tourists. So you can buy souvenirs. Yeah, that's for temple. They have tons of temple in Thailand because their majority are not Muslim. The majority is Buddha. Okay, now let's talk about tourism. Let's talk about the attraction, their location. So this boat picture is the place that I visited, that we visited with my family, visited with my families, and this picture right here is the first picture was park. So this park was pretty nice. A lot of flower there, statue to take picture, and I remember there's an elephant in there. You can ride that elephant. Well, you have to pay for it, but it's a rare moment actually. Yeah, pretty good place, pretty cool. And there's another place. There's a show I talked before. It's showing traditional dance, traditional thing. I don't really understand those kind of things, but what I remember is they're showing traditional dance, and well, yeah, they're not actually a woman. The performers are actually not a woman. They look like a woman. They look very like a woman. Their face, their yeah. Let's talk about it later. So yeah, that's two example of tourism attraction. Actually, they have a lot, but this place that this place the I mean this place the I yeah you understand. Okay, well, but what about tourist location? Of course, they have a lot of tourist location. They have like this picture right here. It was me and my little brother taking picture in a plane with One Direction. Yeah, it's not real. It's not a real plane. It's not a. They are not real. They're a statue. But this place was well. There's not just One Direction. They have a lot of statue like a lot of celebrities in there. Messi, Ronaldo, and even ER Karno, president of Indonesia, and Xi Jinping, the prime minister, I think, in China. Well, they have a lot of statue in there. So this is one of my favorite place. So if you want to go to Thailand, I recommend this place. It's pretty good place, and of course, they got a lot of souvenirs to buy. Okay, now continue. Okay, before we went back home, we have to get a lot. We have to buy a lot of souvenirs. Well, this picture is one of the example. So actually, their souvenirs are pretty unique, pretty cheap. Well, affordable. They look they look they look nice though. Like this picture right here, there's a bajai and tuk tuk or tuk tuk you can say, and some kinds of mini things. I don't know what that, but hey, they got a lot of souvenirs to get. Pretty unique, cheap, very affordable. And what about the quality? Well, I think pretty good. It's not bad, but quality is depends on what you're paying. So don't expect much on it's cheap, but quality is not pretty good. So yeah, the point is, well, they got a lot of souvenirs, pretty, and it's pretty unique. Okay, so what about the tourist location? I mean, like market location. Let's talk about the souvenirs. Okay, what about the market place? We must pick a place to get that souvenir. So this location is my location is me and my family getting some souvenirs in a market. Well, they sell a lot of stuff. Like Indonesia, they sell a lot of stuff. They sell souvenirs. They sell shirts, shoes. Well, everything. They got everything, even food. But remember, you have to be careful if you want to buy food in Thailand. Yeah. What about their location? Well, it's pretty clean. It looks better than Mark Indonesia, but hey, pretty crowded there. You have to be careful when you bring something. You have to be careful on. You have to be careful when you uh, bring your phones. I remember my tour guide said that there's a lot of bad guys in there. Okay, now let's get back to our story because I'm not finished yet. So yeah, this let's get back to this story where I went to a show. So I remember when I went to a show that well, it's a pretty good show. They're showing really good performers, showing traditional dance, traditional writing, traditional thing. And and then before we went inside, my tour guide wants us that it's scary. And why it's scary? Because those women are not actually women. Well, they look like women. They look sexy. They look well, yeah, look like a real woman. They're not actually women. They're men. That's pretty surprising. And what most surprising is after I saw that, I took a picture in it, and then I zoom in, and I saw their face is pretty cute. I'm not gay, but I, yeah, I'm just saying fact that their face are actually look pretty. Their body, their looks, they actually looks like a woman. And the most important thing, they got no private things. You know what I'm saying? They got no private things. It just looks flat, like it's nothing there. I mean, just like a real woman. That's pretty surprising. And yes, it is scary. I don't know if that actually a man because I just couldn't believe it. Like, what are they actually a woman or a man? It's pretty scary. But again, we have to respect them. We cannot just say, "Hey, you're gay, you're whatever." We have to respect it because, well, respect is everything. Respect is everything for tourists. If you don't, well, you're dead. You'll be kicked out. You're going to jail or well, everything. Yeah, you have to be careful when you're going somewhere. And after knowing all of them, all of their problems, and even though it's bad, we have to respect them because you don't want to be kicked out from from the country. Like, I mean, yeah, respect is everything for Respect is everything for a tourist, for you know, even if you're not a tourist, you have to respect it too. So yeah, respect, very important thing. Number one, before you want to go to that country, you have to prepare yourself to respect it. Okay, I think that's all. That's all from my speech, from my presentation. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.